Hi guys. So one of the questions I get all the time is, okay, how could I possibly do this job as a full-time job? And like, what's involved? What do I have to do? Well, the first thing you need to do is realize that most of the things you're doing in your everyday life is being a coach. Most people don't realize that when they talk to somebody, when somebody says to them, hey Kim, you look great. What are you doing? And you start talking to them about Shakeology, you start, telling them you're doing T25. Maybe you tell them like, hey, come to the gym with me or come to my workout class or come over tomorrow morning and you can work out, in my basement with me and stuff like that. When you talk to the checker at the supermarket and they tend to talk to you about like, oh my God, how do you eat all those vegetables and things like that? The more natural you can make this job, the better you're going to find that it is going to find a way into your life. I like to always call it doing the job while you're doing your life. And that's kind of how I ran my whole first year of being a coach, was I just did it through life. I was always really active on social media, just probably as active as I am now. And now my husband's like so thrilled that, for all that Facebook activity, that there has been some payoff from it. But, a lot of people feel like, they have to convince their friends and family and things like that. Those weren't the first people that actually became my customers. It was actually acquaintances, neighbors, things like that. And people who really didn't know me that well, like they were my Facebook friends. Friends and family, sometimes they're kind of tricky. Sometimes they are the last people that are going to come on that journey with you, and it's okay. You really have to not take it personally. If there's one thing I can tell you is that get some thick skin and start to realize that everybody's on a journey and everybody's going to come at this journey on their time, not yours, unfortunately. And it doesn't mean you're not amazing. It doesn't mean you're not inspiring. It simply means it's not their time. The best thing you can do for those people who maybe tell you no or not now is to keep going, because there's nothing great. I don't know, I probably shouldn't say this, but in my first year I used to get a lot of no's and I used to say, I'm gonna show you. And I did. A lot of those people who said no said yeses, and a lot of people who snickered at me and said things about me have come back to me and said, I did think you were a little crazy when you were starting this, but I can totally see that you have created this awesome business, that you really care about people, and that you really want to help people. So you kind of have to have a thicker skin. And that's one of the things you're going to be doing as a coach, is reading self-development. A lot of people think self-development is like for people who have bad self-esteem, and it's really not. It's for people who want to simply get better. So, if you're sitting there thinking like, I got life all figured out and I don't need any help and I don't know about anything out, like, you're wrong. Because anything, I think, that helps you be a better spouse, better wife, better mother, better coach, better worker, whatever it is, self-development is going to help you. Self-development, I really feel like, gives you that zest for life. It really helps you see more positively. I was not a positive person. I kind of grew up with a negative mom. So the voice in my head was often a negative one. So self-development really, really helped me change my perspective and the way I think. All of these things are very, very much skill-based things that you can learn. So it's not something that you feel like you have to come into this business and learn. Those of you who have a full-time job, I have probably 90% of my coaches have full-time jobs and are very successful. We call it a power hour, that we try to ask you to do at least 5 days a week, where you are inviting, you're doing your self-development, and you're doing your workout and drinking your shake. The best way you can be a coach is to start with yourself and getting yourself into the best shape. Now, does that mean six-pack abs and all this other stuff? No. Actually, some of my successful coaches are people who are in the middle of their journey. And sometimes those people become more attractive to others because sometimes when people see a perfect specimen, they think it's unobtainable. They think that the person who has the body doesn't have the same struggles. So I have often found that people who share what they go through, share that they're not perfect, definitely have an advantage sometimes. And so we talk about this power hour. Some people do it early in the morning. Some people do it before they go to bed or after work. Some people do it on their lunch hour. I always tell people, whatever time you have, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, just be consistent with that time and you will see your business grow. So hopefully that answered that question about being able to do this job with a full-time job.